The signing ceremony for the 3-year anti-corruption project to support Sri Lanka's efforts in anti-corruption together with UNDP between the Ambassador of Japan to Sri Lanka and the resident representative of UNDP took place in Colombo today.
Sri Lanka is estimated to lose around 72 billion rupees annually due to corruption in revenue administration alone, resources that could otherwise fund wealth, health, education, and essential services for the people. UNDP has been supporting tax policy reform because public distrust and administration inefficiencies have limited compliance. By restoring credibility, we can expand the tax base and strengthen public financing in a more equitable and sustainable manner. This project we are launching today builds upon a strong foundation. A key priority will be supporting the operationalization of the newly established internal affairs units across over 100 public institutions. These internal accountability units are vital to identifying, managing, and responding to corruption risks within institutions themselves. Empowering IAUs will foster preventive governance and enhance public sector integrity from the inside out.
Japan has reiterated its commitment to supporting Sri Lanka's efforts to combat corruption and rebuild its economy.
As Sri Lanka navigates through economic challenges, eradicating corruption is critically important for its economic recovery and sustainable growth. At the same time, allow me to add that the success of creating a society free from corruption is contingent on Sri Lanka's own determination and, in the end, its self-reliant efforts. Attracting foreign investment is critical in the path ahead of Sri Lanka's economic recovery and development, and for that purpose, it is imperative to regain confidence of foreign investors in the sound business environment in Sri Lanka. Japanese investors, I believe, are also paying a close attention to changes happening in Sri Lanka's social landscape with high regard for the new government's efforts and with high expectations. Further down the path, together with a safe and sound business environment, Japan would also like to see mid-term and long-term economic development strategy, including articulate sector-wide industrial promotion policies under the new government. It will make us better understand what opportunities are available for making fresh investments in Sri Lanka. It will show us a clearer path for how we can better work with Sri Lanka for our mutual benefit. Japan continues to be closely together with Sri Lanka for all these future endeavors.
Chief guest for the event, Minister of Justice and National Integration Harshana Nanayakkara, spoke on the corruption that has taken place in the country in the past.
It took a long time for the Sri Lankan citizens to understand the impact of corruption and bribery. They kept on electing people they jolly well knew who were engaged in corrupt practices. They thought nothing will go wrong. But finally, we as a political party, National People's Power and the JVP, we struggled, we worked hard to educate the people, the impact of corruption. We told them, you will die with bad medicine. We said, you will eat substandard food, all because you're not fighting corruption. Nobody believed us. But by the time they believed us, people have died because of substandard medicine. People have gone blind because of substandard medicine. And the economy crashed. And some of the judgments being delivered by the honorable judges these days, when they're sentencing the culprits, they always say, one of the reasons for the crisis of our economy is this, corruption. But by the time our people heard it and decided to bring us to power, damage was done. So we had a bankrupt country, and even worse, up to an extent, bankrupt moral and value systems also. Now what has happened now? Has all the corruption stopped? The answer is no. But we are happy to say, at the highest level of political corruption is non-existent. If you take a ministry, secretary and above. If you take a board, chairman and above, zero corruption. But down the line, still it's there. there are some certain bugs in the system which needs to be debugged at some point in time. But this is not to upset the hardworking, honest bureaucrat in all these agencies. There are good men, there are good women. But the problem is, still at some decision-making places, you still have the ghosts of the old regime. So whenever we are trying to put in the new system of anti-corruption drive, you can see the old system resisting upwards.
We recognize that enforcement is at the heart of any credible anti-corruption strategy. It is not pass laws or launch awareness campaigns. Laws must be enforced, violations must be investigated, and justice must be served fairly, firmly, efficiently. Citizens demand integrity in governance, accountability and leadership, and transparency in public administration. With the introduction of Sri Lanka's new anti-corruption law and commitment to implementing the United Nations Conventions Against Corruption, UNCAC, we have a clear roadmap. What we now need a strong partnership, practical tools and capable institutions. To all our stakeholders from the justice sector, civil society, academia and the international community, I invite you to work with us on this journey. The fight against corruption is not responsibility of single institution. It's a collective effort, one that demands a vigilance, courage and commitment of all sectors of society.